What's going on, Eagles Galaxy? It's your boy Cool McCain back another week. Y'all know why we here. You know what we here for. This is interactive, all Eagles, all the time. Hashtag be elite, the Eagles Elite Podcast. And joining me as always,
Of course, Wyatt from Cinema Trip Reviews and Squad Pod Sports. I'm ready to talk about some Eagles football. We're heading into week one.
it's exciting, man. We've been going at it all summer, all off season, talking about different stuff, what could happen, what will happen, all the moves. And now we're at the point where it's all done, at least for now.
Yeah.
Roster set. Preseason's over. Sunday at 1 o'clock. The quest begins. We're going to see how far we can go. I believe it's pretty far. I know you share that belief as well.
Yeah.
So, I think we're at that point where we just need to give all of our fellow Eagles fans a reminder. And I live by this first part, just so everyone knows. I don't just watch it. I live it. Earlier today, some people tried to come at the Eagles, and I basically told them, like, no one likes us and we don't care. Your opinion doesn't matter, and I don't like you and I don't care. So, just to get into it, let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It just gets the juices going, man. It just gets the juices going.
Especially this close to the season, man.
It's crazy, man. We looking at days. We are in the week of week one of the NFL season, man. It's coming fast. It's coming hard. Love it. Very excited about it, man. So a lot of different just, things to discuss in regards to the Eagles. So I think a good place to start is, what are your thoughts on the final 53-man roster? Do you think this is a roster that's built to win, or do you think we may be a piece or two away?
I think we could definitely win with this roster as long as everybody performs up to what we expect of them. I mean, I think the obvious big factor, as everybody knows, is Jalen Hurts. Like, how much did he improve over this offseason here? And I believe we talked about it last week, is like, you don't even necessarily have to have an elite QB to go all the distance and go to the Super Bowl and win it. You just have to have a strong top 5, top 10 defense and have some nice skill position players. But I think this defense is easily top 5, top 10. We went out, Howie Roseman did his thing on the offensive side. I mean, we have the strongest offensive line in football, I think. And I mean, wide receivers, got rid of Jalen Reagor, cut some fat out of there. Zach Pascal looked really, really, really good in preseason here. So him, Quez Watkins, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, they're going to work wonders. I think Jalen Hurts is going to exceed expectations this year. I think this is a team that can go all the way. And I mean, me and you, I know Mo usually says Super Bowl, but I'm not ready to go, like, say we're going to go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl right now. I'm not that type of dude. But I think we can definitely make a strong playoff run and possibly go all the way, though. I think we have the pieces to do it. But I can also see like maybe Howie going out and trying to maybe get a running back. I mean, it seems like we've kind of had our eye on it. I don't know if our latest pickup is the end of the running back signings at all this season so far. But I don't see us adding anything as far as like safety with, CJ GJ coming into the fold. And I just don't see where else we would really add to at this point in time, unless it would just be a depth signing at this point.
Yeah. So I think, I agree. I don't think there's a lot that's needed. There's definitely a glaring need at backup wide receiver. Right now, we're only carrying 4 wide receivers.
Yeah.
So I do feel like, that's a position where we definitely could obtain another spot in. I think running back, the Trey Sermon move, I feel like is a two-edged sword type move, right? It can end up being great for us, but at the same time, we would need Trey Sermon to actually, and this is information that I received from 49ers fans, because I saw film on my watch, but I went to some 49ers fans and I said, tell me why you cut Trey Sermon. Basically what they told me, this was pretty much all of them. I talked about 10 of them because I don't trust just one person, no matter who it is. But I talked about 10 49ers fans, and basically everybody was saying the only issue is he dances. So he's kind of like Sanders was early in his career.
Second guesses himself a little bit.
Yeah, kind of dances and doesn't necessarily hit the hole fast. So my thought was, do you feel like it was a scheme? So, I went and watched some of the games, saw some of the games that he played in some and some he didn't. And they do the zone run scheme. So with the zone run scheme, for those of you who may not be aware of that, you're not hitting a specific hole. You have a group of holes and you're supposed to figure out the first one or the right one to get to and then hit it. So for young players, sometimes it is difficult because there's too many options. Whereas in an offense like ours, you have 1, maybe 2 holes to hit. You have a primary hole that if that's not open, there's a secondary bounce right or left that you would take, unless it's a sweep play. And of course, you just get stuck in the backfield if it gets broken down. But the change of scheme may be something that works well for him. I'm hoping that it is. If not, that could become an issue. Hold on 1 second here. I thought I plugged this up, but I think I plugged up the wrong cord. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little technical difficulty over here I wasn't aware of, but I had taken care of, but we're good to go. But yeah, so I think if he hits those holes better for us, that's going to be major. That's what we need. We need the big guy that, can hit the holes and make the plays. I think definitely we can't go through a season with 4 wide receivers. So we're going to have to figure out a way to fix that issue. There are obviously options even on our own practice squad, but we're just going to have to fix that issue.
I think that's kind of what their intention was, is try to keep like who is it? Devin Allen, Deion Kane, those guys on the practice squad. And I think you can only pull them up from the practice squad like 3 times, is it? Or 4 times?
Yeah, a certain amount of times, and then you'd have to just sign them if you're going to keep playing them. Yeah. I think for me, the biggest concern is just I don't like the fact that Quez Watkins and Gainwell are our punt returners and kick returners. Because I think we're taking our top guys and we're also saying, go do this, right? Go do
risking
this, go do this. So we're going to have to use some 2 tight end sets, at least with what we have set as our roster now. Yeah. Kyle Katera will definitely get some playing time. Sanders may get some playing time out of the backfield, catching the ball. Heck, we might end up lining up Gainwell at wide receiver sometime. I don't know. But something's got to happen, right? But
I'm glad you brought it up. Because I was going to say about the decision of making Quez Watkins the primary returner. I didn't know like how you felt about that, because I wasn't expecting that to happen.
I don't think I like it, just because I don't like a starter at wide receiver, being subjected to those extra hits about being a punt returner. I didn't mind when Jalen Reagor did it last year because I never really considered him a starting wide receiver. I mean, he was technically, so it's technically doing the same thing, but I think
Yeah.
we're going to ask a lot of the quiz, and then to put him in that situation, it could be a little difficult. But we can make it work.
We kind of assumed that, either Devin Allen, Britton Covey, or one of those types of guys. We thought one of those guys were going to make the roster specifically to be like a returner or a punt returner. And it just didn't seem like that was the case. So I don't know what Howie's plan is, if they plan on moving one of them up eventually, or just kind of rotate these guys off the practice squad every like couple weeks or something. I don't know. I feel like he's just trying to be smart. Like I don't know how he thinks he's smart, but it's going to end up biting him in the butt eventually because they can claim people off the practice squads, right? They can, like, if we have a couple guys that'll come out here, maybe have a good game or two, and then get signed off our practice squad and go somewhere else, and then we're stuck with like no wide receivers or something like that.
Well, the thing is, man, Ian Book should not be on this team. Ian Book should be on the practice squad, period. That's a spot that should go to a wide receiver. We don't need 3 quarterbacks, right? We don't. I'm sorry. If Hurts gets hurt in the game, I doubt that Minshew would get hurt in the same game. If somehow they both get hurt, and it is what it is, at that point, you'd be better off
Greg Ward to go out here.
You'd be better off having like Miles Sanders or Gainwell or somebody just do Wildcats the rest of the game, right? Then go out and put Ian Book out there. So, I mean, I think that's a wasted roster spot. No disrespect to Ian Book, but I think that's definitely a wasted roster spot. Having 3 Sam linebackers, I don't like that. Kyron Johnson being the third one. I don't like that on the roster. Definitely like the third defensive tackle, Marlon Tupelodu. I think those are a couple of places where we could have more offensive firepower that we don't have because we are, keeping extras in those spots. And I think those type of things are the little moves within the moves that can burn you later on in the season. So hopefully it doesn't. I don't want it to because, it's my team. But that's something to keep an eye on if you're Eagles fan. It's really something to keep an eye on is that depth and the lack of depth at certain positions, especially wide receiver in the NFL. We get 2 wide receivers knocked out. We're running 21s, 22 all day. We have no choice.
Now we do have an extra roster spot now because within the past week since we talked on the last week's show, Andre Dillard ended up having like some type of fracture in his arm, in his forearm. He ended up having to get surgery. He's on the IR now through at least the first 4 games of the season, which does open up another roster spot. So who knows if they're going to bring somebody up to sign him or how he's going to go get somebody. Who knows what's going to happen here before week 1 or even after week 1.
Yeah, you never know about that. When I look at it, I think to myself like, what's the possibility? And here's the thing. What this basically does is gives us 1 left tackle on the roster. Do you want to go into a season with 1 left tackle on your roster? The answer to that question is no. So I think we're going to have to go out and find a backup left tackle, and sign them. I don't think we have a backup left tackle on our practice squad. We do
I'm
have
not sure.
Raven Clark, who is a tackle, but I'm not sure if he plays left or right. So that would be my best thing. I mean, he may be a guy that can kind of be a swing tackle and play both. Okay, so he has played both. He played mostly at left tackle, though, but he has played both. So maybe he's a guy that we can elevate for the practice squad. We're going to have another, backup tackle. I mean, that hurts to lose Dillard that way because of that. But I don't want to go into the season with just a backup right tackle and Jack Driscoll and ask him to play left tackle if something happens to Mailata. And then, heck, we know Lane Johnson's getting up there and long in the tooth. So he's a guy that may not make it. And I'm not wishing this on him, but he's a guy that may get banged up some and have to miss some time as well. So definitely I think we have to get another tackle to fill that spot. But, yeah. This third right defensive tackle, this third Sam linebacker, I think one of those guys has to go to practice squad with Ian Book, and we need to we need to get 2 wide receivers on the roster. We should have at least 6.
Yeah, I did see within the past week that we did sign a wide receiver. I'm not sure. It wasn't specified it was to the active roster or practice squad. I'm assuming practice squad. But it was Auden Tate from the Cincinnati Bengals. But it was another big-bodied receiver.
Yeah, he's on the practice squad too.
Yeah. So
that's
it
the
seems like
thing.
they kind of keeping an eye on some of these receivers. They just haven't made the move to pull them up onto the active roster as of yet. Maybe they're just trying to keep it close to the chest until they have to reveal who's on the active roster going into week 1.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. Right now, it's very close to the chest, a little too close for my comfort.
Yeah, it's something maybe they'll announce like Friday or Saturday, like on the official like injury report or roster report. I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
I
It's
could see
always
him
hard
doing
to
that.
tell. Yeah, it's always hard to tell. Now, so we're going into week 1. We consider out the roster, but I think for me, we got to hit more wide receivers. Got to get a backup left tackle now, and we're always looking for advantages at safety. We lost Anthony Harris. They actually parted ways with him.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
But I think it's best for both parties that they do that. So I'll let you get into details about it, but I just think it's a good thing.
Oh no, there really wasn't much else to say. It seemed like it was going out on good terms and everything too. It seemed like Anthony Harris really liked being here in Philly, and that's why he initially came back. But my guess is the coaches were like, I don't know how much playing time you would get. You might want to really try your chances elsewhere. Maybe you get a starting spot somewhere. So they kind of worked out a deal. They released him from his current contract on the practice squad and everything. And he's a free agent as of right now, I'm pretty sure. But it seemed like there was just a mutual respect between him and the team. It didn't end in bad terms or anything like that. But like you were saying, when he was initially cut, he was out doing like a charity event in Philly somewhere.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he really liked the organization and he liked the city. So, I mean, I wouldn't rule out maybe a return in the future if he was needed.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing by letting him go because you allowed him the opportunity to go somewhere and catch on as a first or second string guy on an active roster. And he's better than a lot of some of these guys I've seen. It's just that some of the moves we made, it made him a little bit more expendable than we expected him to be.
Yeah.
Questionable while he was cut and some of these guys were kept, but I'm not there. Again, I've said all along how he's made some great things. He can get a bun with his hot dog and hamburger leftovers from the cookout now, but he still can't come to the cookout. I'm still wary.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Howie, that was the last thing I actually had. That's to like talk about before you get into like the week 1 game and everything. Howie was on WIP, and he officially like came out and said that the Rager pickup was all on him and it was a bad idea from the start. He officially claimed that it was just a bad idea, and he claimed any just fault for the decision. He said one key lesson he learned was pick best player as opposed to picking a player for a role. I guess he said Jefferson was viewed as slot, Rager was on the outside in speed, but he just thought that Rager would have fit this offense better than what Justin Jefferson did. That's his thoughts. But he's taken accountability for it finally after all these years.
So there's a couple of things I have to say to Howie. We'll start off with this.
Can you dig that
sucker? So Howie, it took you that long to say, and I quote, I made a bad decision. I thought that he would fit the system better than Justin Jefferson.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
But this is the guy who evaluates talent for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
The guy that actually came out, the best that he could come up with is, dude, I saw this earlier too, so I was prepared. This is ridiculous. This is asinine, Howie, and this is why I've been yelling #fire Howie Roseman for years. Stupid moves. Jalen Rager. I'm sorry. This is not Jalen Rager's fault. Yeah. I have disliked Jalen Rager, the player, not the person. I don't know him as a person, as a player. I disliked him because he shouldn't have been drafted in the first round or the second round, probably. Other thing being, Justin Jefferson was a no-miss prospect.
Yeah.
A lot of people had him as the best receiver in the class. For him to fall into your lap and you to miss and pass him by to draft someone with lesser talent at the same position because you felt he fit our system better.
It's like Justin Jefferson would have fit in any system you would have put him in.
In the NFL. Any system. So this just goes back to show that I was right when I said hashtag fire Howie Roseman. Because if that kind of crap continued, he would have been gone. The only good thing that's come out of that is A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I don't think we have them if he makes the Justin Jefferson pick. But maybe we still do, because maybe just Justin Jefferson isn't enough for Carson Wentz and his walk into and Wentz. I'm soft and I can't play football anymore season that he had this last year in Philly.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully this means going forward, hopefully, that he's not going to try to be smarter than everybody else and try to outsmart everybody and overthink it. Hopefully this means going forward through the draft and everything, he just picks the outright best player for our whatever meets our needs at that time.
Yeah, there's so much I could say about Howie right now. But when it comes to Jalen Reagor, Howie, this is what I want.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
I don't want to hear anything else about that guy. Again, you screwed up. I respect the fact that you acknowledged it finally. But at the end of the day, you should have known that. I don't think there was a talent scout in your own organization or any organization. I just saw right before the show last week the video of the Vikings.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, their war room.
They're sitting there like, blah, 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 blah. They see our picture like, oh yeah, let's get that card together. Like they were just like that.
Yeah.
You don't take a guy that you know is going to be worst case scenario, a top 2 receiver or a top slot receiver on your team and not draft him because another guy that has less steps, isn't as fast, didn't play nowhere near the competition in college, is still available because he has a connection to your team.
Yeah.
That's what you did. It was the poorest move I've seen you making in a long time, and you've made some bad moves. But that may be the poorest one just because of where you drafted him at.
Yeah. The dude probably would have been there on their next pick if they really wanted him.
Probably the pick after that.
Yeah. But he's probably saying this also. I don't know if it was a direct question or if he brought it up or something like that. But I'm sure that he's kind of coming out, taking accountability for it because he wants to close the door on this. He wants to close the book on this subject and going forward with, the media and also Philly fans. He wants to kind of sweep it under the rug now that Reagor's gone. But we don't forget Howie. We don't forget.
Howie. I don't know if you thought, I've had a good offseason this year, so I can go back and talk about that now and everybody will let it go. Oh, no.
No. It's just going to bring up all those old feelings.
You owe us 2 Super Bowls before we let it go. 2.
Yeah.
You owe us 2 for what you did to us. 2.
Yeah. And what, 5 years now? Like he signed that extension, got 4 or 5 years left on it.
You owe us 2 in that 5 years, sir.
Better get to work.
So you better really get to work. Like why I say you better get to work.
Get to work.
Because you owe us.
Oh man.
You definitely owe us, dude.
Big time.
And when it comes to that pick, just to say one last thing, I told everybody this wasn't going to work.
Acknowledge me.
Now I feel better. But how?
Tell him every year this isn't going to work. Like, nope, he isn't going to be. It may look good in training camp, but it's not going to look good again.
Since he's made that pick, unfortunately, he's done nothing but prove my thoughts on Jalen Reagor correct. Ever since he's made that pick, and it doesn't help that Justin Jefferson has been a monster.
Oh yeah,
but in poetic justice, the Vikings are the one who traded for him.
Yeah. So who knows how they're going to use. And I saw like Vikings fans like posting like Eagles just didn't use them right or whatever, and they were posting like old college clips of Rager. Like
Right when he played,
yeah, like what does this
like
mean?
one AA college football. Yeah.
Yeah. But good luck with that. Go ahead and talk yourselves into this project you guys just went into. It's not going to work out how you think it's going to turn out.
If you can turn Jalen Rager into a top 3 receiver, I'm not even going to say a 1 or 2. If the Vikings can turn him into a top 3 receiver, I give their coaching staff, their facilities, everybody nothing but props. But I don't think he's better than KJ Osborne.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like if one of the top 3 got hurt, they've got another guy on the roster that's better than Jalen Rager. But hey, he's no longer our problem. We're able to put him in the back burner now.
Yep.
And we're able to focus on this much improved but lacking in numbers receiving core. I'm very excited. I feel like this is going to be a major year. I feel like we've done in the offseason what we needed to do to ensure that the team is ready to perform in the season. We're at the very end. We're going down the tail end. All we've got to do is just perform. All we got to do is go out there in the field and perform. I said last week, everyone's talking about what Jalen Hurts needs to do, who he needs to be. But the truth of the matter is simply this. As long as he doesn't fumble the ball as much as he did last year, if he doesn't improve, we still should run deep in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Teams have won championships with lesser quarterbacks than Jalen Hurts. The defense that we should have on paper is good enough to make those things happen. Now, of course, we both know the game is not played on paper.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as paper champs. So the thing is, we go out there and play. Now, one of the things that I did want to bring up, we sold out Detroit. There's only standing rooms tickets left. The Eagles have showed up like we always do, and they're going to show out in Detroit. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. I wish I could be at this game. This won't be the one I'm at. That'll be at the end of October. Mm-hmm. But I wish that I could be at this one because I know it's going to be a crazy game.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be real hype, and it's going to be sick. And man, the way that fan base is showing up and has shown up, because I go to the Commanders game every year with a good friend of mine, and the Eagles fans show up, take over.
Yeah, it's travel really well.
We travel well. I mean, they even have buses going from Philly, to the game.
Yeah.
My other Eagles friends are going to be on there. So it's going to be a really exciting experience, man. It's going to be hype. We're going to be ready. And just like your alternate hat, like your boy Lil Brunson puts out, it's about to be hurt season.
It is. That's what I'm telling everybody, man.
But he's going to get it done. I believe he's going to get it done. Deep playoffs should be the expectation if you're an Eagles fan. If you're not expecting that, man, I don't know where you've been. I don't know what you've been doing. But look at the moves, right? I mean, do you have to pull out the roster again for you? Do we need to do that? Like it's a very solid stacked roster, man. We got a lot of young talent, a lot of veteran talent, and it's going to be ready to play, man. It's going to be crazy, except for wide receiver. We have a lot of rotations, except for left tackle and wide receiver. We're pretty deep in most places. So Howie, if you're watching, which it seems like you are, you're going to need to get us a left tackle and at least one more wide receiver off the practice squad from cut list or whatever. But we've got to get a little bit more. We're doing really well, I think, as far as filling holes, putting ourselves in a position. But now it's time to get it done. It is time to get it done.
And one last thing I want to mention was like, as of today, because we had our first practice, I think it's one of 3 practices that we're having here leading up to week 1. Everybody practiced on the roster. I mean, we have one roster spot open, but the other 52 guys were out practicing. I think there was a couple limited players, but everybody was out there practicing. Nobody missed. So that's very, very encouraging, very positive news. We're going to go into week 1 pretty much fully healthy at this point.
Definitely. And Nikki Cunningham, hello, and thanks for tuning in with us. And now we're going to bring on a gentleman who is a fan and a podcaster for our opponent this week, the Detroit Lions. Want to have him on, man, to have an opportunity to just talk about the Detroit Lions, what they have going on, and all those different things. But to answer this question that Nikki has, in the event we fall to upset this week, does the sky fall in Philly? So that's a great question, I think. I'll say I don't think the sky falls in, because I believe that we know there's one or two games that we feel like we shouldn't lose, that we lose every year.
Yeah.
It is possible to lose this game, but I don't think that would affect the overall effect of the season. They would have all of the haters, the naysayers, and the disbelievers ready to cash in our season and say we're not going to be that good. But guess what? If we lose this game, it's a game. That still doesn't change what we should do for the season.
Yeah, we can't overreact about week one. But I saw a stat. I forget exactly what it was, but we actually have been very, very good on week ones here over the past, 20 seasons or 10 seasons or whatever the stat was. But we've been doing really well on opening games here. So hopefully we keep that record pretty well good. But I don't think the sky's going to fall. Of course, the Hurts haters are going to come out, though, if it is something with Hurts or if the defense. You're always going to have the haters and the naysayers, though, no matter what. But I don't think a week one L against the Lions is going to affect anything. Because I know that the Lions are kind of getting all this hype here as of recently, especially with Hard Knocks and everything and the sold out stadium and stuff like that.
So Nikki says, I can see rampant panic and cannibalism among the fan base. It is Eagles Nation. You have a fair point. But I think hopefully for once we're looking at the fact that this is a long-term thing and not a short-term thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we realize hey, even if we lose one, it happens. We still have the same goals.
Yeah.
Just maybe one less win. Just maybe instead of 12 wins, 11 wins, right? So.
But we ain't going to talk about that, though, because we're going to win this game.
Yeah. And we're going to focus on 1 week at a time. I think this is what Nick Sirianni talks about and preaches a lot. 1 game at a time. So we're really going to focus on, hey, getting it done, get through this 1 game. Let's knock it out. Let's go out there, play our best. And if Detroit happens to be better this week, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if we've done everything we could do to win, we're going to be ready to go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming to us live is going to be our guest this week. And he is, again, a Detroit Lions fan. I'm going to let him introduce himself. We'll get him in here. We'll get the conversation going.
Yo. How y'all doing, man? How y'all feeling, man? Hey, my name is Chicken Nugget King, coming live from the mitten, representing the Detroit Lions. And I just really want to say to the Eagles out there, before y'all get, far-fetched and ask me some questions on the game, I just want to let y'all know that this going to be a nail biter. This going to be a fight. This ain't going to be no easy, walkthrough. So I'm going to let y'all know y'all in Ford Field. It's going to be a real intense game. So I'm down for the battle and I'm down for the war. Let the games begin. Let's talk.
All right, so Mr. Nugget King, you are aware that Philly fans have traveled very well and have made sure that there's no extra tickets except for standing room only tickets, right? When the Lions come out for this game, there's going to be a sea of green that they're going to experience as well. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot of Eagles fans there.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that because I know Philly fans, they travel everywhere. They come in packs, man. Like these people love football. And I got nothing but respect for the city of Philly. I don't want to bash or get too, edgy on them because these guys know football and y'all know football from front to back, and y'all understand the game. Y'all have a great history. Y'all got a great, lineage of great players that came out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, like to even name, to teach its own. You had Donovan McNabb. You had great players like Terrell Owens. You had great players that really did things like Brian Dawkins. You had great players like TKL Spikes. You had great players that really handled their own, and they really built that foundation in Philly. And Philly knows their sports. So, coming into this game, they're gonna have to bring their A game. They're gonna try to bring their intensity up a higher level. But I think our Lions is gonna try to stop them and do what we gotta do.
Well, man, if you're not trying to stop us and do what you got to do, then your team should be playing this game. So I definitely expect the Lions to come out swinging. I do agree with Nikki's comment here about the bandwagon fans are coming back, but that's okay, man. I have a different opinion on bandwagon fans.
Go ahead.
No, you good. The thing with me is it's very simple. Paul Turner.
Oh yeah, I can't forget Paul Turner. I can't forget Paul Turner. Can't. That's my bad on my end. I forgot about the legendary Paul Turner. Man, y'all got some great players over there. Y'all got a great city too. So shout out to y'all.
Appreciate that, man. Detroit's a good sports city as well. I mean, the sports may not be doing as well at times, but y'all do have a fan base that is very passionate. And no matter how bad y'all at the Pistons games, no bags on your head. You're at the Lions games, no bags on your head like those Saints fans was doing back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I got definitely give y'all that. For me, I love bandwagon fans. A lot of people get mad and say, "Oh, this person, that person." No, I love bandwagon fans. You know why? Bandwagon fans drive up the value of your organization because they go out and they have to buy everything from scratch. They don't already have T-shirts. They don't already have hats. They got Patriots gear from back in the day. They got Cowboys gear sitting somewhere around them. You know what I'm saying? They got
VHS
Rams
tape
gear. They have all this stuff, right? Because they're bandwagon. But bandwagon fans, so you got to start at the beginning. You got to buy socks, T-shirts, wristbands, hats, jerseys. So you're helping us drive the value of the organization up. So I have no problem with bandwagon fans. And I laugh at bandwagon fans. And for a team like the Eagles, you can tell the bandwagon fans. You can tell them right away. But I don't knock them at all. Spend your money. Come to the game. Spend your extra money on the Eagles. I appreciate you.
I wanted to ask you something, man. Like with the second year of Dan Campbell coming in here, what do you think? How do you feel he has really impacted the culture within that locker room? And how do you feel about the team going into year 2 under ACDC?
Oh, not man. ACDC. Hey, look, that's good. That's a good pun intended to ACDC. That's a legendary rock group. But Dan Campbell is really shaking waves over here. Even in his first season, he was shaking waves despite the record. People was believing, people was on the hype train, people was going through it, and they was really ready to go through a wall, run through a brick wall for a guy like this. I mean, he's really a motivational speaker, is a great guy, great, coach. And into this second year, I think he wants to get more than just 3 wins. I think he wants to get, his players ready and revved up because this is going to be a great long season, whether if it's lose or win. We going to go out there and we going to put up a fight, 60 minutes of great football. And Dan Campbell wants to be up there with one of the greatest coaches ever. I mean, he's got the team to build. He's got a great, GM and Brad Holmes. He's got a good, front office that's willing to help him and lead along the way. So I'm not going to put my expectations on him to go, yay, Super Bowl. No, yeah. I'm putting my expectations on him to say, okay, take it one step at a time, like Nick Sirianni, and just, develop his players the right way that he can. Because we got a stud out of Michigan, out of the Wolverines with, Aiden Hutchinson. And that boy is a real performer and he can play his ass off. And as for Hard Knocks, I thought that was a distraction. Honestly, I wanted wins instead of Hard Knocks. But Hard Knocks is worth the help and it's worth the build to, have other fan bases that want to, come and invest into the team too. And just like the bandwagon comment, like the OG said, is that, look, bandwagons are always cool because they get to research the game and research the players. And it's okay that they can research the team. Like they can research both teams and, keep studying along the way. So, obviously, I think Dan Campbell going to do a good job. I think he's doing a fine job. It's no worries over here for me.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's really kind of bought into him so far. Like all the players, it seemed like he's building a decent culture over there. It's just a matter of if it'll translate. How do you feel about Jared Goff?
Well, you got me right there. You got me in a question where everybody wants to know, because Eagles fans is like, yo, he better tell the truth. He better tell the truth, or we gonna put a lie detector on him.
I don't have no hate towards Jared Goff or anything like that. I just you don't really hear about him much, so I just didn't know what your thoughts were on him.
Yeah, I'll share my thoughts. Honestly, to me, I feel like he's gonna be short term. I don't see any long term just as yet because preseason just passed, and that doesn't determine he's gonna be here longer. So I will say that he's on short term for me, and I do have faith in him. I do want him to step his game up. I do want him to be, very, calm and collective in that pocket and take his time. We got an offensive line that's probably going to build up with, being top 5, top 10 down the ropes, and we just gotta work with what we got. We better be proud of what we have. So, Jared Goff, go out there, kick ass, tape names, and just do what you have to do so you can get a victory. And I hope they, Lions fans are behind him just like I'm behind him.
Yeah. I think you guys will definitely do better than you did last year. I think you'll have some more wins than that, though. Like, it seems like you're actually building something here. Like, you're setting a foundation.
Oh, absolutely. We're building a foundation that is blue collar. You know what I'm saying? Detroit is blue collar. Detroit is all about hard work. Detroit is all about going out there in your face. We ain't backing down. We come in to play. We come in to do what we got to do. We work hard, play hard. And at the end of the day, we earn our trophies. So if you look at the list of our teams and the histories that we have, we've been hard work. We've been blue collar. You know what I'm saying? And we've been represented that. Just like Philadelphia represents brotherly love, this team represents hard work. We don't take no handouts. We go out there, we got to get it, and we got to go out there and understand the assignment. So if we understand the assignment, we going to get the job done,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Nikki says here that Alshino is hot. Is in hers in her dynasty league, and he took a turn for the worse under Goff. I mean, I can't put it all on Goff. There's a lot of problems in Detroit last year, but Nikki does make a fair point. But I had a question I wanted to ask you, and if you wanted to respond to Nikki, you can as well. But how do you feel about Matt Stafford leaving, going to the Rams and getting a Super Bowl? Are you one of the people that's more like, I'm happy for him, cool, whatever? Are you like bubbling over with happiness? Are you hating on him because he did it somewhere else? Where do you fall?
He's been here for 13 seasons, correct? Been here 13 seasons.
Last time,
and he didn't get a chance. And he didn't get a chance to win a ring here because our, ownership wasn't trying to put too much money in, bringing players that will help it out. And there was some ups, there was some downs, but through it all, I support the fact that he won a ring. He earned it. He worked hard for it, and he didn't take no for an answer, especially when he was here. And you gotta give your props to Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford should be up there with one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. To play for the Rams and to play for the Lions is a great feeling for him. I think he adapted his game and adapted his culture into 2 different cities that were manifested on history and manifested on on trying to win. Because if you look at the Rams, they've done what they have to do over on their side of the NFC. And over here, we got to compete with the Packers, Vikings, and the Bears. So ultimately, he's got better competition over there than he does here, because 9 times out of 10, he wouldn't win a Super Bowl here. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't put in the right order and the right pieces in place to help him out. So with that being said, I'm happy with Matthew Stafford. And I like that question. And it's real, because a lot of people don't ask this question often to me. They don't ask that, because if I told them honestly how I felt about it, I would have been like, you know what? Screw Matthew Stafford. He's a traitor. He this, he that. No, I wouldn't say that. I would have to say, thank you for the time you spent here. Thank you for the time you spent here. Thank you for being, a leader. Thank you for having the heart and soul to play for this team. And thank you for, being the man that we all believed you would be.
Yeah, it seemed like Matt Stafford always had a lot of love for Detroit. And it just seemed like after a certain amount of time, like what you were saying, where they kind of refused to build around him. He just had to do what was in his best interest at the time. I don't think it was anything like with Detroit, the team, or the city personally. It seems like even after winning the Super Bowl, I mean, he still talks about Detroit. It seems like he has a great love for the city and everything still.
I mean, oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's always that love. It's always that love. That's not gonna change from us to Matthew. That's never gonna change.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for him. Though the only answers I can say is I'm happy for him. I don't want to sit on this show and bash the guy. I just really want to say thank you. You know, thank you for the time you spent here, and thank you for, you know, being the best player you could be. You did everything you could to try to help this team go forward. You had you had Calvin Johnson. Okay, you had
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson as your wide receiver, who is a Hall of Fame player, one of the
Mhm.
greatest Hall of Fame players to ever play at wide receiver, next to Jerry Rice. So don't yell at me or get down my throat about it and tell me that's not true, but it is true.
Hold on, man.
Um,
You can get no argument with that over here, man.
yeah,
Get
hey,
no argument with that
I
over here.
can't. Hey, I'm lucky. Hey, I'm lucky it's Philadelphia and it's not San Francisco. But anyway, but anyways, I'll say like this. I'll say like this. I'll say like this. Matthew had a great wide receiver, but when he has a great wide receiving core over there in LA, he actually said, you know what? I'm going to hit all cylinders. I'm not going to depend on one wide receiver to go get the ball for me. I got a lot of wide receivers over here than I did right there. So,
Yeah.
hey, he worked with it.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of different, different opinions on how people felt. So since you were here, figured we'd ask you the question, man. But then, of course, we got to get into this epic matchup on Sunday. So it's
Okay.
opening week. You know, we're gonna be in Fort Field, we in y'all territory.
Right.
What do you feel like the Detroit Lions can do to win this game?
Well, first and foremost, we got to contain the run. We got to stop Jalen Hurts from, making passes, deep over to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, because Lord knows them boys can actually run and they can go out and get it 50-50 balls. And we got to make sure that we just slow down the tempo of the run, because when the Eagles start running, they're gonna get that tempo up to like 100, and we got to keep up on that. And defense is going to be a part of this game. Defense is going to really be a part of this game, and defense is going to be the motivation going forward. So I want y'all to really watch out for Malcolm Rodriguez. He might come after your boy. So tisk. But I'll say that our team defensively is going to grow within from this game, and we're going to learn a lot in this game. Whether if we, like I said in the beginning, whether if we lose or not, we're going to learn something defensively. Offensively, we got Josh Reynolds, DJ Chark, Amon St. Brown, Cephas if he's back 100%, or TJ Hawkinson to depend on in this game to make sure that we rack up them points, and move the chains, because we already know the other side is going to expect to move the chains and try to rack up some points too, because this ain't going to be just some walk in the park. This is going to be a real close nail biter.
Okay. All right, and Wyatt, what do you think the Eagles can do to win this game?
What do I think?
Oh, Wyatt.
Why?
Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm Wyatt.
Oh, my bad.
No,
Oh, I thought you
good.
was telling me why. I'm like, all right, I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing about that.
So you just explained why. No, I think for the Eagles, I think a big key to winning this game is putting a lot of pressure on Jared Goff. I think it's going to start at that defensive line. I'm not really worried about our offense nearly as much, especially with the addition of AJ Brown, getting Reagor out of here, keeping Quez Watkins at 3. But I think the key to beating these Lions is going to be putting pressure, try to get to Jared Goff as much as possible, make him uncomfortable, because that's whenever he starts getting a little fidgety, it seems, and starts making some bad decisions. So I think that'll be the biggest key for us, is trying to, as long as that defensive line can create pressure. I'm not really worried about, Darius Slay or James Bradbury covering some of these receivers. I mean, we haven't seen what our linebackers and safeties look like. It's very new here going into the season, so I'm not sure what they're going to look like. So I don't really have an opinion on what that could be. So hopefully they can hold their own. But I think the biggest thing is that defensive line.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to actually touch on a few things I think for both teams, right? I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm not just going to go all Philly.
Yeah.
I think for the Lions, neutralizing the run game. If the Lions are able to effectively make us one-dimensional and force us into passing most of the game, force us into third and longs, I think that's a situation, especially the first game. AJ Brown, you can have all the chemistry and the little preseason action they had together in training camp. But until you get those reps in actual game speed, when you're getting hit, knocked around because we're only focusing on the pass because we've effectively taken it out of the game, that could cause some turnovers. We know one thing about Hurts from last season is he has been prone to fumble the ball a couple of times. So we don't want to get in a situation where, he feels like he has to do too much too early in the season, still get used to all his new toys, and makes a couple bad plays. I think for Philly, it's going to be like you were saying, getting after Goff and also making sure that those receivers are covered. The biggest thing I think we did in the offseason was A.J. Brown, Hassan Reddick, Jordan Davis, Kaiser White, and James Bradbury. There's a lot of moves made, but those are the ones that are the most important. Hassan Reddick and Kaiser White are guys. Reddick can go after the ball. He can also play a linebacker. Kaiser White is a guy that I've seen be a linebacker that you can send in on a blitz. He's a linebacker that can also cover the run. Jordan Davis, a big mountain of a man. Sooner or later, he's going to be in the starting lineup. It won't be against Detroit, but I think he'll get ample time to show what he can do. A man that size as fast as he is, it's ridiculous. So I think those are going to be some important things. Detroit's going to have to find a way to neutralize that linebacker and defensive line of the Eagles, with knowing that when you go look at cornerback, you're still going to have guys that can cover your top two guys and make it difficult to get them the ball. Not impossible, but difficult to get them the ball, and they can both generate turnovers. Philly has not had a cornerback tandem as good as what we have right now in quite a while. I will say this: Detroit is young at the cornerback position, but sometimes that can work to their advantage because we don't know a lot about them yet either. So that's another place where they could lull us to sleep and make some plays on us as well, bat down some balls, maybe tip some balls. Never know what happens. So I think that my fan base feels like it's going to be a blowout. I think if our other host was here, our co-host was here, he feel like it's going to be a blowout. But I think being a more reasonable football fan, this is a tune-up game for us. We haven't played a lot in the preseason. So this is going to be one of the times where everyone's playing the entire game together for the first time. So this game, I think, is going to be a lot closer than people anticipate it being. I still feel like we can comfortably win by at least a touchdown, but I don't think it'll be like 21-3 or 35-7 or anything ridiculous like that, because I think Detroit's going to be a better team than people give them credit for. When we did our season previews, I talked about how I felt Detroit was going to be about a 6-7 win team this year. Hopefully one of those wins don't come against us, but it's a possibility. And one thing as an Eagles fan, we must all acknowledge, we're going to lose one or two games we shouldn't this year. We'll probably win at least one we shouldn't as well, but we're going to lose a couple of games that we shouldn't this year. And this is a good trap game if you're Detroit.
Agreed.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's definitely one of those games, especially first game of the season, where I'm not sure how much work Detroit has like with their ones through the preseason, so I can't really say like how well they're going to look. But like you were saying, like our ones didn't really get many reps during preseason. This is a game I could see us coming out typical Eagles fashion, starting very slow in that first half. So who knows what could happen? I mean, Detroit could get the edge up on us in that first half and maybe give us a run for our money there. But like both of you were saying, I think it's going to be pretty close throughout most of the game.
Yeah, definitely agree with that, man. So you're our guest, man. So we'll let you tell us first. How do you see the game playing out, and who do you have winning the game?
Hey, obviously, for starters, I got to be confident. I got to roll with my team. Okay? Let y'all know that. That's loyalty. As you guys were talking about, those reps are highly important for the ones out there because that's the first string. And when you have the first string out there on those reps, you got to get them, juiced up and try to see if they can do a thing or two on those reps. And if you can't do a thing or two on those reps, it's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a field day for, both sides of the ball. Obviously, I really see us, coming up close in this game, 27-26 Lions. Yeah, I'm throwing that out there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do think we're going to win this game. I do think that our starters on offense, maybe on defense could, really have some good momentum in this game.
Okay. I myself, of course, I gotta go roll with the birds on this one. I do think it is going to be somewhat close. I think it's going to be exactly how I mentioned before. I think we're going to start off pretty slow in that first half, and that second half is normally when Philly usually gets rolling a little bit. That defense, that tempo ends up coming up a little bit. I don't know about a final score, man. If I had to pick one, 21-17. I'll say that.
Well, I also have a little
21-17.
I also have a little paraphernalia.
I ain't mad at that. That's close enough. I ain't mad at that.
Throw it up there real quick. Let's remind everybody a little something. So I got me keep me a little paraphernalia on the side as well. And that's just one of the pieces. I got more, but so I'm gonna say this. Picking the Eagles. I think this game stays really tight. I think we actually win 35-24. I think we get a I think you guys cut it close late in the game with a field goal, like 21-28, but then we get an opportunity to come down and get one of those last end of the game scores to kind of put the game away. But I think a close game all the way through. I do agree with why I think we're going to start slow. I don't think it'll take us to halftime, though, to kind of pick it up, but I think we'll start slow, especially like in the first quarter, maybe half of the second quarter.
Yeah, like first couple drives.
Yeah, but I feel like we'll both be able to put some points on the board because, again, we have a lot of great pieces on paper. And I don't know if you were watching us before you hopped on, but I was talking about how we're great on paper, but there's still the thing of going out and playing. I think a lot of people are looking at what we are on paper and saying this team is they're going to just blow through everybody, and the starters are going to be sitting the whole fourth quarter every game. Well, I hate to tell you, but this isn't Alabama playing against the rest of the country in college football. This is all pro football. These are men that come out and play. I think your coach is a lot better than he's been given credit for. I think he'll prove that this year. You have an amazing running backs coach. You have an amazing running backs coach. So your running backs will be ready to play, and me and Wyatt both know that. So I think that you're going to be able to hang in the game, which is going to be more than a lot of people that are not Detroit fans or Eagles haters give you the chance to do. But I think that we will win, I believe, but I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. It'll make people raise their awareness to Detroit and say, oh, this team might be, a decent team this year, and not just a doormat for everybody to walk over. So that's my thoughts on the game.
Well, obviously, that man came from the Eagles, too. He's definitely an all-time great over there with the Eagles. Deuce Staley. You got to love what he did. Got to love what he did.
I don't even like the fact that he's there.
Yeah, Brian. And you don't like the fact that he over here? Okay, now I can accept the shots fired now. I can accept it, but don't take it to heart. Don't take it to heart if we take the dub.
It's not your fault that he's there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't had nothing to do with that. Y'all saw the opportunity to bring in a guy that should be at least assistant coach somewhere, and you jumped on it. I hate the fact that he's not on the staff he should be on, and that's the Eagles. But that's not your fault. Again, you had nothing to do with that.
Hey, to be honest with you, I think that he was a good running back next to Brian Westbrook. Hands down. But we had Barry Sanders, legendary.
True.
But yeah, we got a good game. We got a good game coming up this week, man. We got a real good game on Sunday. We got to, give praise and thanks to the troops that, fought for us on that day, 9/11. We'll never forget. Also, grab your popcorn, go to the couch, get ready. This is going to be a nail biter. This is going to be a dog fight. And we're going to have some fun on Sunday, because Sunday is for the men and Saturdays is for the boys.
That's pretty much how it is. So I'm not going to be watching from home. Me and the homies are getting together. A couple of my boys is Detroit fans, a couple of my boys is Eagles fans, and we're going to go to this banging pizza spot that shows the games. It's a sports bar that serves like banging pizza. We're going to check out the game there. So there'll be a lot of back and forth.
So y'all gonna be hanging out in Philly?
Well, I actually don't live in Philly. I live in Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte in the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're gonna be. So I got some Detroit guys here. I got some Philly guys. We just go get together and go check it out, man. See what happens. But like I said, I think we'll win. But it's good to be challenged. You know,
Hey,
it's good to play teams that challenge
if
you,
you
win
were
or lose.
if you were in Philly, you would have to go to Geno's Steak or somewhere downtown Philly to watch the game. I'm telling you that.
See, if you're
telling
gonna
you
go
that now.
anywhere of the supposed like cheesesteak spots, Chicky and Pete's would be the one. If you're gonna go to one of the what's the word, popularized cheesesteak spots. But I've been to Philly enough that I know that's not the spot you go to.
Hey, look, them Philly cheesesteaks sound good to me. You know, and
Yeah,
I may be, hey, look, I may be a
there's way
Pirates
better
fan.
ones.
I'm a Pirates fan too, in case y'all ain't know.
Oh man.
And look, the Phillies, listen, next year, if you play against us, we gonna come out on top. I guarantee you. Guarantee you that. Mark my word.
Well, hey man, y'all can have the MLB. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have it all day. I represent the reigning and defending champ, so I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all about the tomahawk chop when it comes to baseball. It's all about the tomahawk chop.
Oh man.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, if you're in Philly, you want good cheesesteak spots, don't go to those spots, man. Go to like Max's, go to Doc's. You know, there's quite a few spots. Even Chickies and Pete's is a little bit better. And a couple of my friends were telling me about Chicky and Pete's. You can actually order your cheesesteak. It takes a while to get it. I think Max's may be the same way as well. And they have a bar like right beside that you can go sit in there. If a game's on, you're gonna watch a game, get you some refreshments, and let them know when your cheesesteak is ready, and they'll drop it over to you. So some of those would be better. I mean, Geno's, those spots that they show, they're great. But like I said, I've been to Philly enough to know that those are not horrible cheesesteaks, but there's better cheesesteaks that you can get. Well, let's say better priced cheesesteaks. Let me make that clear. So I'm not saying that they don't have good cheesesteaks. I'm saying there's better priced cheesesteaks that are the same quality, at least, at other places. So if you ever go into Philly, man, you need to hit us up so we can put you down with the real spots to go and get some of that greasy, cheesy goodness.
Hey,
For real.
I would love to hit Philadelphia one day. As long as y'all show me some hospitality. I love chicken nuggets, but I mean, I'm trying to like get acclimated to the steaks and stuff like that. So, I'm hoping that y'all can give me some hospitality, show me around, hopefully one of these days.
Absolutely.
So, I want, hey, I'm all for, meeting Eagles fans and being cool with them too. So I'm all for it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But yeah, man. So pretty much you got the finals. We told you about the teams. We told you about the game. Any final thoughts? You guys have any final thoughts before we end it for the day?
You can go ahead, man.
Hey, I think my final thoughts is, hey, lights, camera, action. Let the games begin. Let's do it.
Same, man. It's week one. I mean, it's impossible not to be excited at this point. I'm just ready for some football.
Well, I have two thoughts that I'm gonna give for the game. Number one,
but the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
And I got one other thought, and this goes out to the Detroit Lions.
You're next.
Macho Man and Goldberg. Oh, okay.
That's how we live it. That's how we live it.
I'll take you up on that one. I'll take you up on that.
That's how we live it. So, people, everyone appreciate everyone who checks it out. Everyone tuning in live. Everyone's gonna hop on and check out the replay. Appreciate you guys. Shout out my man, the Chicken Nugget King, for hopping in here in the Eagles' nest and surviving.
Appreciate you joining us, man.
Huh?
Appreciate you joining us, man.
Oh yeah. It's a pleasure, man. I love it. I mean, hey, it's good to talk football. It's good to talk sports. I'm a big sports fan, so it's a good chance to come here and connect with other people from different places. So thank y'all for showing me some love right back.
And you can also catch Mr. Chicken Nugget on Tuesday nights, repping his Detroit Lions in the NFL Matchup Madness. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all better not miss it out.
Hey, White, anything else from you, man?
Oh yeah, I mean everybody can find me, at Cinema Trip Reviews, the Squad Pod Sports on Twitter, and also at Cinema Trip Reviews on YouTube as well. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
So I guess I'll run in the list since we're on here. All right, I'll do the same order I did last night. We'll start on Saturday. We'll just work our way back. So Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to be able to catch out the NFC Beast. You're going to see it on several different platforms. You can catch it on the Play Call Sports Talk. Heck, you might be able to catch it here. You'll be able to catch it on Shady Sports Network, Real Wise Radio. So all over the place. You'll be able to catch that. Also on BS3 Network. It's just a bunch of us guys coming together from different places, linking together and just talking out a vision. So we're going to be doing that on Saturday nights. Friday nights, the flagship. Play Call Sports Talk Show, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and my co-host, Stephen Box, you can catch us there every week. Rain or shine, no matter what happens, we in the building. We'll drop back down. Of course, Wednesday nights, we're here, Eagles Elite Podcast, every week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you love us, whether you hate us, or you just want to know about us, show up. Year-round Eagles Talk. Let's go. And then Tuesday nights, NFL Matchup Madness. And there's more on the periphery, but that's all we're going to talk about now. So, again, see y'all next week. And we always in the show, Wyatt, #BeElite.
And fly, Eagles, fly.
Let's go.
One pride.